Good afternoon, everyone. I am Micaela Nocete, and together with my groupmates Giselle Azores and Maria Teresa Mocano, we are going to tackle another lesson, still in the chapter 4, lesson 3, which is the information gathering techniques. But before we start, let us first define what is information gathering techniques. So according to one website, information gathering techniques or information gathering refers to the systematic process of collecting, organizing, and analyzing data, facts, and knowledge from various sources to obtain insights, generate knowledge, and support decision making. And it also involves seeking relevant and reliable information, examining it critically, and extracting meaningful insights to address specific objectives or answer specific questions. So, meaning to say, information gathering techniques or information data gathering is all about collecting, organizing, and analyzing information or data on something. So, here in a multi-grade class or multi-grade education, information gathering techniques are used by the teachers to evaluate the performance of the students and are crucial for them to understand and assess their students' progress aside from the formative assessment. So, if you don't know what is formative assessment, it is an assessment that is usually done before or conducting a lesson. So, it is used by the teachers to know whether the students have a prior knowledge on a certain topic or on a certain lesson. So, now, in the year 2002, Hale identified the six information gathering techniques or method that can be used for the purposes of evaluation. And the first one, we have observation. So, observation is an extensive means of assessing and evaluating students' behavior and learning. It can provide valuable data to make valid judgments and evaluation. So, by carefully observing students, the teacher learns about each student's unique interest, personality, learning style, and learning needs. So, according to one website, observation daw came from a Latin word observere. So, it means to attend to or note or regard, wherein you as a teacher are required to pay attention. So, in simple words, observation means that the teacher can watch students closely to see how they act and do in a certain activity or in a class. So it's like taking notes on what they are doing. So in this way, it allows teachers to know individual interests, personalities, learning styles, and needs of the students or the learners. So, for example, in a class with different grades, for example, grade 4 and grade 5, a teacher might watch how students talk in groups. So, by writing down what each student says, the teacher can see who's joining in the conversation no matter what grade they are in. And through this method, the teacher can identify students who have the potential to act as leaders, those who are active in group activities, and those who are more reserved or quiet. Therefore, when the teacher assigns another activity, he or she can take into consideration the abilities or strengths that the students excels in. So take note that observation or this information gathering technique is an objective method, meaning it focuses on what we see and not what we think. So Here is an example of observation. So as you can see, the teacher only observes the student's actions on a certain activity. So the teacher here only acts as a facilitator of the activity, and the work is up for students. So that's all about observation. The next one, we have checklist. So checklist um, can give valuable information about what students know and can do against a set criterion. So they can also be used by students as a means of self-evaluation. Here in the definition, it mentioned a set of criterion or criteria, which means in a checklist, there is a list of rules or standards that are already decided before judging or measuring something, specifically the student's performance. So it's like having a list of things to look for when deciding if something is good or not. So these criteria help teachers to make fair and consistent evaluations. So in other words, checklists are list of things students should do or know. They are like a to-do list but for school stuff. So for example, when teacher grade a test, they might use criteria like correct answers, neat handwriting, and following instruction to decide how well a student did. So another example is a teacher might use a checklist to see how well students write. So the list might have things like spell correctly or use good sentences. Then the teacher can check if each student's writing follows the list no matter what grade they're in. So when we say checklist, it's all about a set of criteria that serves as another valuable tool both for students and the teachers. So the teachers can evaluate students against specific criteria and foster students' awareness of their strengths and areas for improvement. So here an example of checklist wherein as you can see in the right first column are the criterias and on the left side are the choices for students for evaluating themselves. So overall, these two information gathering techniques, the observation and checklist, are great in classes with different grades because they make it fair for everyone. So it's like using the same ruler for everyone's homework. So in a class with different grades, some students might be better at some things than the others. So, but with observation and checklist, teachers can see how everyone is doing based on the same rules. So this helps teachers to understand that each student needs and gives um, everyone a fair chance to do their best. So that's all for my report, and the next reporter will be Maria Teresa Mocano. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Maria Teresa N. Macano and I am going to continue the discussion of Ms. Micaela Anucete. So now, let's proceed to self-evaluation. So when you hear the word self-evaluation, what comes in your mind? Yes, evaluation comes from the word evaluate, that means to assess, to rate, or to judge something. So self-evaluation means evaluating your own self. So it is important for students to assess their own performances against set criteria. The teacher is informed of what the students consider as their strengths and weaknesses. So self-evaluation refers to the process where students assess their own performance based on predetermined criteria. This can include evaluating their strengths and weaknesses, understanding areas of improvement, and reflecting on their learning progress. So it helps students become more aware of their skills and areas needing development, promoting a sense of responsibility for their learning. So this self-evaluation is like looking at yourself in the mirror to see how you're doing. It's when you think about what you have done, how well you did it, and what you could do better next time. So self-evaluation is a way to figure out your strengths and weaknesses so that you can improve or you can develop more. So here is an example of self-evaluation or a class participation. There's the name, the date, and whether yes or no in the corresponding sentences. So first, did you speak clearly and confidently when called to answer? So you will evaluate or you will rate if it's a yes or no after you do or after you answer. Did, did you read the lesson in advance for the day? Did you raise your hand or volunteer to answer questions released by your teacher? Did you listen attentively to your teacher and to your classmates? Did you avoid distraction during the discussion? Did you take down notes? Did you speak with respect and courtesy? What did you do well? And last one, what do you need to improve next time? So these samples, you can use this as when evaluating yourself after or during your discussion or doing something so that you will know where did you excel and what part did you need to improve or develop for the next time that you will discuss or you will answer. So now, let's proceed to anecdotal notes. So anecdotal notes or anecdotal comes from the word anecdote, which means a brief story about something interesting in a person's life. So anecdotal notes is a teacher's narration of significant student behavior, and it might include students' development, interest in learning, and work habits or exhibited behavior. So, anecdotal notes, on the other hand, are observations or narratives made by teacher about specific student behaviors, actions, or achievements. These notes are usually brief and focus on significant moments or patterns observed in a student's development, interest, work habits, or behavior in the classroom. So, it can provide valuable insights into individual students' progress, learning styles, and areas where they may need additional support or encouragement. So, anecdotal notes is like a short stories or snapshots of what happens to a person, and they are notes that describe specific moments or behaviors you see or hear about, and they help you remember important details about someone's progress, behavior, and experiences. So here is an example of anecdotal report. There is the date and the comment and action and the signature. So first, being new to the multigrade class, Anna is a bit shy and withdrawn. I encourage her to make friends. So that is a teacher's comment and action that observed to her student. Next, Anna started to open up. She is actively interacting with other students. I gave her a star sticker to motivate her. Next, Anna takes more responsibility in class, and I assigned her as a group leader. Her mother is informed of her progress. So this anecdotal note, where is comments and action to a student, is written so that the teacher can say that there is an improvement to the students, and so that they will know what to do next to help her students. So that would be all about self-evaluation and anecdotal notes. So the next discussant or reporter is Miss Giselle Azores. Thank you.
So good day everyone, I'm Giselle C. Azores and I'm going to tackle about a portfolio and rating scales. Let us first discuss what is portfolio. A portfolio is a compilation of students' work that creates a picture of a student's learning growth. Through a portfolio, the teacher is able to see the progress of each student in the areas of learning which need attention. The portfolio may contain the picture of students' best work, anecdotal record, teacher observation sheet of the students, assessment records, and etc. A portfolio is a collection of students' work compiled over time to showcase a learner's progress, skills, and achievements. These can include project work, samples, finished assignments, case studies, and self-reflections. Students' portfolios can be digital, physical, and tailored to specific subject or projects. Now we are done with the portfolio, let's proceed to the rating scales. Rating scales can use numbers, word, phrase, or letter scales. Ratings of a high performance through F for failure, or such terms as excellent, very good, good, fair, and always, usually, sometimes, rarely, and never may also be used. A rating scales can be defined as a standardized method of recording interpretation of behavior, which is totally based on observation, strictly in line with the educational objectives. Rating scale is a tool used for assessing the performance of task skills, levels, procedure, qualities, quantities, or end products such as reports, drawings, and computer programs. Here examples of rating scales for class reporting. So under behavior demonstrated, we have here number 1, demonstrated knowledge and understanding of the assigned topic. Number 2, prepare the appropriate and attractive visual aids. Number 3, spoke clearly and confidently. Number 4, did a logically and a sequence presentation. Number 5, made eye contact with the audience. Number 6, had appropriate pacing of the presentation. Number 7, the topic was comprehensively discussed. Number 8, listened and responded positively to questions. Number 9, was able to capture the interest of the audience. And number 10, correct grammar and spelling were observed. So, in our behavior demonstrated, if you think that the students achieved the standards, then we can mark him or her excellent. If you think that the students didn't achieve the standard yet, you can mark proficient. And if you think that the student needs improvement in class reporting, then we can put here or mark here a needs improvement. And then last, if we have teachers comments, so if we have as teacher, as we have suggestion or comments, then we can mark or put here in the teacher's comments. So that's all po. Thank you.
And that would be all for our report. Thank you for listening.